Viktor Krum was a Bulgarian-born wizard. He attended Durmstrang Institute and was also the seeker for the Bulgarian National Quidditch team at the age of 18 while still at school. He also competed in the 1994 Triwizard tournament that took place at Hogwarts. This is the life of Viktor Krum. Viktor was born between May and August 1976. He grew up in a small town in his native Bulgaria and attended Durmstrang Institute. Viktor was a tall, thin, sallow young man with dark hair and eyes. He had a large, curved nose that he inherited from his father, a sharp profile, and thick, black eyebrows. Despite appearing graceful while flying on a broomstick, he was round-shouldered and duck-footed while on the ground. He was one of the last people to purchase a wand from Miku Grigorovich before the wand maker's retirement. Surly and moody, Viktor usually kept to his own and rarely spoke unless he needed to. Despite his fame, or perhaps because of it, Viktor was reserved and not fond of the attention he was paid because of his celebrity. During his time at school, Viktor encountered what he believed to be the symbol of Gellert Grindelwald, which was indeed the symbol of the Deathly Hallows that had been carved into the walls by the wizard himself. Other students at the school began copying the symbol onto their books and clothing as a way of trying to shock and impress. Highly insulted, since his grandfather had been killed by Grindelwald, Viktor and several other students who had also lost family at the hands of the Dark Wizard taught them the error of their ways. A skilled Quidditch seeker, Viktor was selected to play for the Bulgarian National Quidditch team despite still being at school, and was widely regarded as one of the best players in the world. In 1994, he played in the Quidditch World Cup and helped Bulgaria reach the final against the Irish National Quidditch team. He was considered a fantastically exciting player to watch, so much that even some of those who were supporting Ireland couldn't help but cheer for him. During the final match, Viktor fooled Irish seeker Aidan Lynch by performing a Wronski feint that resulted in Lynch ploughing himself into the ground. Despite his skills, the Irish side were too good for the Bulgarians, and Viktor decided to end the match by catching the golden snitch. During his pursuit of the snitch, he was hit in the face by a bludger, which broke his nose and gave him 2 black eyes. However, he caught the snitch and ended the match on his own terms. He received a runners-up medal along with the rest of the Bulgarian team following the conclusion of the match. Viktor was part of the Durmstrang delegation that travelled with Igor Karkaroff to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry to compete in the Triwizard tournament on the 30th of October. His presence at the school caused a stir amongst the student body since he was famous, and he was followed by groups of giggling girls. He entered his name into the Goblet of Fire to participate in the tournament and was selected as the Durmstrang champion during the Halloween feast one day later on the 31st of October. He expressed no opinion on the entry of a 4th champion, Harry Potter, into the tournament when he found out. Prior to the start of the tournament, Viktor took part in the wand weighing ceremony overseen by Garrick Ollivander, and warranted only a small mention in Rita Skeeter's article on the tournament itself. Skeeter's article focused on Harry Potter's entrance into the tournament, and Viktor was only mentioned in the last line of it. Even then, his name was misspelled. Viktor had spent a lot of time at Hogwarts in the library, as he had become attracted to Hermione Granger. Each day he went to the library with the intention of talking to her, but he could not work up the courage. The groups of infatuated girls continued to follow him, lingering behind bookcases and watching him. On November 24th, Viktor took part in the first task of the Triwizard tournament. He had been forewarned of the dragons by Karkaroff, who had sneaked into the Forbidden Forest, and he showed no surprise when the dragon task was announced. Viktor drew the Chinese fireball and the number 3 slot. Entering the arena after Fleur Delacour, Viktor didn't even think of flying. He used the conjunctivitis curse to blind the dragon and retrieve the golden egg, but the dragon, confused and blinded, stumbled around and crushed half the real egg it was guarding. Viktor lost points for that, and tied with Harry Potter for first place. With the approach of the Yule Ball, Viktor finally found the courage to ask Hermione to the ball as his date, even though he could barely pronounce her name. They, with the other champions, opened the dancing at the ball, and Hermione spent the evening trying to teach Viktor how to pronounce her name correctly. An unexpected side effect of their apparent relationship was that Hermione was chosen by the judges of the tournament to be the hostage that Viktor would have to rescue from the lake. Having worked out the clue from the golden egg, Viktor knew he had to breathe underwater for at least an hour during the second task. He chose to attempt to transfigure himself into a shark, but managed only to transfigure his head. Still, it worked well enough for him to reach the merpeople's village. However, the teeth on his shark were not placed well enough to bite through the ropes holding Hermione. Harry, who had reached the village before Viktor, saw the trouble he was having and feared for his friend. He grabbed a jagged-edged rock, then thumped Viktor on the shoulder and gave it to him. Taking the rock, Viktor cut through the ropes holding Hermione and headed for the surface. He arrived outside the time limit in second place, but was awarded third after the judges took into account Harry's determination to rescue all the hostages. Back on dry land, Viktor confessed to Hermione that he had never felt about a girl the way he felt about her, and invited her to stay with him in Bulgaria over the summer. Prior to the third task, Viktor viewed the beginnings of the maze that they would have to navigate. On their way back to the castle, he took Harry to one side to ask him about his relationship with Hermione. Following the second task, Rita Skeeter had written an article concerning Hermione toying with Harry and Viktor's affections. Viktor sought out Harry and questioned him about the article. Harry assured him that he and Hermione were only friends, but the conversation was interrupted by the arrival of a very confused Barty Crouch Sr. While Harry rushed to get help, Viktor remained with Crouch. However, he was stunned by Barty Crouch Jr. Albus Dumbledore revived him, and Viktor believed that Crouch Sr. had stunned him when his back was turned and had vanished into the woods after. Viktor entered the maze behind Harry and Cedric and began searching for the Triwizard Cup. During the task, Barty Crouch Jr., posing as Alistair Moody by way of Polyjuice Potion, managed to place the Imperious Curse on Viktor as part of his plot to steer Harry Potter to victory in the tournament. Under Moody's control, he caught up with Cedric and performed the Cruciatus Curse on him. However, he was stunned by Harry and left unconscious. Cedric, against his better judgment, used his wand to shoot red sparks into the air, allowing him to be rescued from the maze. Following the tournament and the murder of Cedric, Viktor attended the Leaving Feast, which was also a memorial service for Cedric. He left Hogwarts the next day, saying a private goodbye to Hermione, giving Ron his autograph, and expressing to Harry his regret over the death of Cedric. Despite his offer, Hermione never visited Viktor in Bulgaria, but the two continued to correspond through letters. By 1996, Krum appeared on a chocolate frog card, and during the 1996-97 school year, his card could be won by beating Roderick Seaton at a Gobstones challenge. Viktor attended the wedding of Bill Weasley and Fleur Delacour, and while at the reception, he greeted Hermione Granger enthusiastically, commenting that she looked wonderful. Ron quickly pulled her to the dance floor with him, and Viktor was disappointed to learn that the two were on the verge of a romantic relationship. He then commented to a disguised Harry that Ginny Weasley was very pretty. Harry immediately told him that Ginny was seeing someone who was big and the jealous type, and that Viktor would not want to cross him. Viktor then bemoaned the fact that, despite being an international Quidditch star, all the good-looking girls were taken. Being a young man of great strength of character, as well as his loyalty as a friend of Hermione, it is likely he aided the members of the Order of the Phoenix to protect the attendees of the wedding from the attacking Death Eaters. However, as Remus Lupin confirmed that no one had been killed during the skirmish, it is unlikely Krum suffered any great injuries if he did participate. Krum continued his Quidditch career, representing Bulgaria in international Quidditch matches until 2002. On the final of the 424th Quidditch World Cup, held that year, Bulgaria suffered a crushing disappointment when outstanding Egyptian seeker Raya Zagul narrowly beat Krum to the snitch, making them lose 450 to 300. After the match, a tearful Krum announced his retirement. However, his ambition to help Bulgaria win the Quidditch World Cup made him come out of retirement one last time to compete in the 2014 World Cup. At 38 years of age, Krum was very old for a seeker, but his mediatic return caused Bulgaria to attract support from those whose own countries had not qualified. He ended up catching the snitch and secured Bulgaria's victory over Brazil in the World Cup final. Bulgaria's success was described by Ginny Potter as being mostly due to Viktor Krum's excellent performance. Viktor eventually found love with someone from his native Bulgaria. He also kept in contact with Hermione, although the relationship was strictly platonic, contrary to Rita Skeeter's commentary at the 2014 World Cup. Viktor also responded well to those that treated him fairly or impressed him. Cedric Diggory was always polite to him, and he was deeply saddened by the Hufflepuff's death. He had strong morals and believed thoroughly in honour and respect. That is all for today, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at InstaDNJ, and what you see appearing on the screen now is some of my other videos on the left hand side. If you want to check out my new channel Game of Thrones lore, it's on the right hand side. Check out my video on the Night King. Thanks very much again, and I hope you all have a great day.